There comes a moment in every person's life when they realize that wishing is not enough. Dreaming is not enough. Planning is not enough. The life you want will not be built by what you intend to do someday. It will be built by what you choose to do today. Every goal, every achievement, every transformation begins with one simple decision: to take action. Not perfect action, not dramatic action, just action. Today, I want to remind you of a timeless truth. Your future is not created in giant leaps. It is created in the daily choices you make when nobody is watching. It is shaped by the habits you repeat, the standards you uphold, and the promises you keep to yourself. So if you've been waiting for the perfect moment, this message is for you, because the perfect moment is not coming. The moment is now. One of the most powerful discoveries in personal development is understanding that progress creates belief. Many people think they need confidence before they take action, but the truth is often the opposite. Confidence grows after action. Every time you complete a task, keep a promise to yourself, or take a step toward a goal, you send a message to your mind that you are capable. This is how self-belief is built. It does not arrive overnight, and it is not given to you by someone else. It is earned through experience. Think about a child learning to walk. They do not begin with confidence. They begin with attempts. They fall, get back up, and continue. Eventually, through repeated effort, they develop certainty in their ability. The same principle applies throughout life. Whether you are building a business, improving your health, learning a new skill, or pursuing a dream, your belief in yourself grows every time you follow through on your commitments. The more evidence you give yourself that you can be trusted, the stronger your confidence becomes. This is why keeping even small promises matters. If you say you will wake up early, do it. If you say you will exercise, follow through. If you say you will learn something new, make time for it. These small victories accumulate and become the foundation of a powerful self-image. Over time, you stop seeing yourself as someone who wishes for success and begin seeing yourself as someone who creates it. True confidence is not loud, it is quiet. It comes from knowing that no matter what challenge appears, you have developed the habit of taking action. Discipline is often misunderstood. Many people view it as restriction, punishment, or forcing yourself to suffer. In reality, discipline is one of the greatest forms of self-respect. It is the ability to do what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel in the moment. Motivation is wonderful when it appears, but motivation is unpredictable. Some days you feel energized and inspired. Other days you feel tired, distracted, or discouraged. If your success depends entirely on motivation, your progress will always be inconsistent. Discipline creates stability. It allows you to continue moving forward even when enthusiasm fades. Imagine two people pursuing the same goal. One works only when they feel motivated. The other follows a schedule and remains committed whether they feel inspired or not. Over time, the disciplined individual gains an enormous advantage, not because they are more talented, but because they are more consistent. Discipline transforms intentions into results. It bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to be. It teaches you that your feelings do not have to control your actions. You can acknowledge your emotions without allowing them to dictate your future. This realization is incredibly empowering. It means you can make progress on difficult days, not just good days. The people who achieve remarkable things in life are not necessarily the most gifted. They are often the people who have learned to master themselves. They understand that every disciplined action is a vote for the person they want to become. Day by day, choice by choice, they build strength, character, and resilience that carry them toward lasting success. Your habits are quietly shaping your future every single day, whether you realize it or not. Every action you repeat becomes part of your identity. What you consistently do matters far more than what you occasionally do. This is why habits are so powerful. They operate beneath the surface, influencing your outcomes over long periods of time. A single healthy meal may not transform your body, but healthy eating habits practiced consistently can change your life. Reading a few pages of a book may not seem significant today, but reading every day for years can completely transform your knowledge and perspective. Small actions often appear insignificant in the moment because their results are not immediately visible. However, life operates on the principle of accumulation. Tiny improvements compound over time. A 1% improvement repeated daily may seem small, but the long-term impact can be extraordinary. The challenge is that habits require patience. People often quit because they do not see immediate results. They plant seeds and expect a harvest the next day. But growth takes time. Success requires faith in the process. It requires understanding that today's efforts are creating tomorrow's opportunities. Positive habits also reduce the need for constant decision-making. When good behaviors become automatic, progress becomes easier and more natural. Instead of relying on willpower every day, you create systems that support your goals. This is one of the secrets of highly successful people. They do not leave their future to chance. They design habits that consistently move them in the right direction. Over time, those habits become the foundation of an extraordinary life. One of the greatest forms of wisdom is learning how to manage your emotions without becoming controlled by them. Emotional intelligence is not about suppressing feelings or pretending challenges do not exist. It is about understanding your emotions, responding thoughtfully, and maintaining control over your actions. Every person experiences frustration, disappointment, fear, and uncertainty. These emotions are part of being human. The difference between those who grow and those who remain stuck often lies in how they respond to those feelings. When obstacles appear, emotionally intelligent individuals pause before reacting. They understand that temporary emotions should not make permanent decisions. They know that feelings provide information, but feelings should not always dictate behavior. This ability becomes especially important during difficult times. When progress is slow, emotions may tempt you to quit. When criticism appears, emotions may tempt you to give up. When mistakes happen, emotions may tempt you to doubt yourself. Emotional intelligence allows you to acknowledge those feelings without surrendering to them. It creates space between impulse and action. It helps you stay aligned with your values and goals, even when circumstances are challenging. Developing emotional intelligence also improves relationships. You become a better listener, a more patient communicator, and a more understanding leader. You learn to respond with maturity instead of reacting with frustration. These skills create opportunities in every area of life, from personal relationships to professional success. Ultimately, emotional intelligence gives you the power to remain steady when life becomes unpredictable. It helps you navigate challenges with wisdom, maintain perspective during setbacks, and continue moving forward with confidence and purpose. Resilience is one of the most valuable qualities a person can develop because challenges are inevitable. No matter how talented, intelligent, or hardworking you are, life will test you. There will be setbacks, failures, disappointments, and unexpected obstacles. The question is not whether difficulties will come. The question is how you will respond when they do. Resilience is the ability to recover, adapt, and continue moving forward despite adversity. It is not about avoiding failure. It is about refusing to let failure define you. Every successful person has faced moments when giving up seemed easier than continuing. What separated them from others was their willingness to keep going. Resilient people understand that setbacks are not final. They view difficulties as opportunities to learn, grow, and become stronger. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" they ask, "What can this teach me?" This shift in perspective changes everything. Challenges become classrooms, mistakes become lessons, failures become stepping stones. Resilience also develops confidence because every obstacle you overcome proves that you are stronger than you thought. You begin to trust your ability to handle uncertainty and navigate difficult situations. Over time, this creates a deep sense of inner strength. The resilient person does not depend on perfect conditions. They continue moving forward regardless of circumstances. They understand that success is not determined by how many times you fall. It is determined by how many times you choose to rise again. Life rewards persistence. It rewards those who refuse to surrender their dreams at the first sign of difficulty. Every challenge you overcome adds another layer of strength to your character. Every setback survived becomes evidence of your capability. And every day you continue despite obstacles brings you one step closer to the future you are working to create. Small daily steps compound over time in ways that are almost invisible at first but extraordinary in the long run. One of the greatest misunderstandings people have about success is believing that major achievements come from dramatic actions, sudden breakthroughs, or rare moments of progress. Builds self-belief in a way that nothing else can. Many people spend years searching for confidence, hoping that one day they will wake up feeling fearless, certain, and fully prepared to pursue their goals. But confidence rarely appears before action. In most cases, confidence is the reward that comes after action. It grows through evidence, and the strongest evidence you can give yourself is proof that you are capable of following through on your commitments. Every time you complete a task, no matter how small, you send a powerful message to your mind. I can trust myself. When you set a goal and take a step toward it, you strengthen the connection between intention and action. Over time, this creates a foundation of self-belief that is far more durable than temporary motivation or positive thinking alone. Real self-confidence is not built by repeatedly telling yourself that you are capable. It is built by repeatedly demonstrating that you are capable. One of the reasons so many people struggle with self-doubt is that they focus too much on the size of the goal and too little on the process of making progress. They look at successful people and compare themselves to the finished result rather than the journey. This comparison can make the path ahead seem overwhelming. However, When you shift your focus to small daily victories, everything changes. A completed workout, a chapter read, a skill practiced, a difficult conversation handled well, or a promise kept to yourself may seem insignificant in the moment, but each of these actions becomes a piece of evidence that supports a stronger self-image. The human mind pays attention to patterns. When you consistently take action, your brain begins to recognize a new pattern. Instead of seeing yourself as someone who procrastinates, hesitates, or gives up, you start to see yourself as someone who follows through. This transformation does not happen overnight, but it happens reliably. Day after day, action reshapes identity, and identity influences behavior. When you believe you are a disciplined person, you naturally begin making disciplined choices. When you believe you are capable of growth, challenges become opportunities rather than obstacles. Progress also teaches an important lesson. Improvement is possible. Every step forward, no matter how small, proves that change can happen. This realization creates momentum. Momentum creates enthusiasm. Enthusiasm fuels further action. Before long, what began as a small effort turns into a powerful cycle of growth and achievement. Perhaps the most important thing to remember is that self-belief is earned, not gifted. It is developed through repeated acts of courage, consistency, and commitment. You do not need to have all the answers today. You do not need to be perfect. You simply need to keep moving forward. Each time you honor your commitments, each time you take action despite uncertainty, and each time you choose progress over excuses, you strengthen the most valuable relationship you will ever have, the relationship with yourself. And when you learn to trust yourself, you unlock a level of confidence that no setback, criticism, or challenge can easily take away. One of the most powerful skills a person can develop is the ability to manage emotions rather than be controlled by them. Every day, emotions influence the choices we make. They affect how we respond to challenges, how we treat other people, how we handle pressure, and whether we move forward or stay stuck. While emotions are a natural and valuable part of being human, they were never meant to become the leaders of our lives. The most successful and fulfilled individuals learn how to acknowledge their feelings without allowing those feelings to dictate every decision they make. Many people believe that success comes from intelligence, talent, or opportunity alone. While these qualities can certainly help, emotional control often becomes the hidden factor that determines whether a person reaches their potential. Think about the moments when you felt frustrated, discouraged, angry, anxious, or overwhelmed. In those moments, your emotions were sending powerful signals. If you reacted impulsively, you may have made decisions you later regretted. But if you paused, reflected, and chose your response carefully, you likely created a much better outcome. This ability to respond thoughtfully rather than react emotionally is a hallmark of emotional intelligence. One of the greatest challenges in personal growth is learning to act according to your goals instead of your moods. There will be days when you feel inspired, energized, and ready to conquer the world. On those days, taking action seems easy, but there will also be days when motivation is nowhere to be found. You may feel tired, uncertain, or discouraged. These are the moments that truly shape your future. Anyone can perform well when they feel good. The real test of character is whether you continue moving forward when you do not feel like it. Emotionally intelligent people understand that feelings are temporary, but consequences are lasting. They know that anger eventually fades, fear eventually passes, and self-doubt eventually weakens. Because of this understanding, they avoid making permanent decisions based on temporary emotions. Instead, they stay connected to their values, commitments, and long-term vision. They remind themselves of what they want most, rather than what they feel in the moment. This does not mean suppressing emotions or pretending they do not exist. Healthy emotional intelligence involves recognizing emotions, understanding their source, and learning from them. It means being honest about your feelings while refusing to become their prisoner. When you can stay calm during uncertainty, focused during distractions, and determined during setbacks, you develop an inner strength that cannot be easily shaken by external circumstances. Over time, this skill creates extraordinary results. Better relationships, wiser decisions, stronger self-confidence, and greater resilience all grow from emotional maturity. Life will always present challenges, but when you learn to master your emotions, you gain the ability to navigate those challenges with clarity and purpose. Instead of being pushed around by every emotional storm, you become the captain of your own ship, steering steadily toward your goals. And that is where true personal power begins, not in controlling the world around you, but in learning to control yourself. Growth does not happen in a single dramatic moment. It rarely arrives through one breakthrough, one lucky opportunity, or one extraordinary day. Real growth is a gradual process that takes place through consistent effort repeated over time. Many people underestimate this truth because they live in a world that celebrates quick success and instant results. They see the finished product, the successful entrepreneur, the skilled athlete, the confident speaker, the respected leader, but they rarely see the thousands of small actions that made those achievements possible. Every meaningful accomplishment is built on a foundation of daily effort. The strongest trees do not grow overnight. They develop through years of steady growth, enduring storms, changing seasons, and difficult conditions. Human growth follows the same principle. Every skill you develop, every habit you strengthen, and every lesson you learn becomes another layer of personal development that contributes to the person you are becoming. One of the greatest misconceptions people have is believing that progress must always be visible. In reality, some of the most important growth happens beneath the surface. When you read a few pages of a book each day, you may not immediately notice a difference. When you exercise consistently, the results may not appear overnight. When you practice patience, discipline, or emotional control, there may be no instant reward. Yet each effort is creating invisible progress that accumulates over time. Think about a person who commits to improving by just 1% every day. A single day may seem insignificant. The improvement may appear too small to matter. But when those small gains are repeated consistently, they begin to compound. Weeks turn into months. Months turn into years. What once seemed like minor progress eventually produces remarkable transformation. Consistent effort also strengthens character. It teaches patience in a culture that often demands immediate gratification. It develops discipline when motivation fades. It builds resilience when obstacles arise. Every time you choose to continue despite discomfort, you are training yourself to become stronger than your excuses and more committed than your temporary emotions. The truth is that growth is not about being perfect. It is about being persistent. There will be days when you perform at your best and days when you struggle. There will be moments of confidence and moments of doubt. What matters most is your willingness to keep moving forward. Even small steps count when they are taken consistently. Success is not created by what you do occasionally. It is created by what you do repeatedly. The habits you practice daily eventually shape your identity. Over time, your actions become your character, and your character influences your destiny. Never underestimate the power of showing up. Never dismiss the value of small improvements. Every positive choice, every lesson learned, and every effort made is contributing to your future. Growth is not an event. It is a lifelong journey. And the people who achieve extraordinary results are often those who simply refuse to stop growing, learning, and improving one day at a time. Success is a long-term practice, not a one-time event. One of the most important truths to understand in life is that meaningful achievement rarely happens overnight. We live in a world that often celebrates instant results, quick victories, and dramatic success stories. Yet behind every great accomplishment is usually a long period of unseen effort, consistent learning, repeated mistakes, and daily commitment. What appears to be an overnight success is often the result of years of preparation, discipline, and persistence. The human mind naturally seeks immediate rewards. We want to see progress quickly. We want our efforts to pay off right away. When results take longer than expected, many people become discouraged and begin to question themselves. They wonder if they are talented enough, smart enough, or capable enough. But the truth is that success is rarely determined by what happens in a single day, week, or even month. It is determined by what you continue to do over long periods of time. Imagine planting a seed in the ground. You do not expect a fully grown tree the next morning. You understand that growth takes time. The seed must develop roots before it can grow upward. In the same way, personal growth, financial growth, career advancement, and skill development all require patience. Much of the progress is happening beneath the surface before it becomes visible to others. Every day you make choices that either move you closer to your goals or further away from them. Reading a few pages of a book may not seem significant today. Saving a small amount of money may not feel life-changing. Spending 30 minutes learning a new skill may appear insignificant, but when these actions are repeated consistently, they begin to compound. The small actions that seem ordinary today become the foundation of extraordinary achievements tomorrow. Long-term success belongs to people who understand the power of consistency. They do not rely solely on motivation because they know motivation is temporary. Some days they feel energized and inspired. Other days they feel tired and uncertain. Yet they continue to take action because they have learned that progress depends more on commitment than emotion. They show up even when the excitement fades because they understand that discipline bridges the gap between goals and results. Another important lesson is that setbacks are not signs of failure. They are part of the process. Every successful person has faced disappointment, rejection, mistakes, and obstacles. What separates them from others is not that they avoided difficulties, but that they refused to let difficulties stop them. They viewed challenges as opportunities to learn, adapt, and grow stronger. When you commit to long-term success, you stop obsessing over immediate outcomes and start focusing on daily improvement. You become patient with the process while remaining committed to your purpose. You understand that each day is an opportunity to invest in your future self. Over time, these investments accumulate, creating results that once seemed impossible. The secret is simple but powerful. Keep going, keep learning, keep improving, keep taking action. Trust that every positive step matters, even when the rewards are not immediately visible. Success is not a destination reached in a single leap. It is a practice lived every day through consistent effort, purposeful action, and an unwavering commitment to becoming better than you were yesterday. Over months and years, those small daily actions create a life of achievement, fulfillment, and lasting success.